I went into the Coast Guard. I went into ITA school. If you don't know how it works, when you get done choosing your rate and kind of going through your A school, which is basically like college for the military, if you will, college for enlisted men to choose what they want to do.
I always thought you took a test. Wasn't there a test that told you what you should do?
But yeah, the ASVAB,
Yeah.
it tells you what your capabilities are, but you can be anything you want. You can still, like, for the most part,
You can
you
still
do have
be
to
all
have
that you
certain
can be.
ASVAB scores to get into certain A schools. Yes. And so, yeah, I took the ASVAB and everything before I got in. But yeah, so I was just about to graduate from ITA school, top of my class, if you will. There wasn't really a top of the class back then, but my instructors realized that I kind of knew a lot about computers already before coming into the fray. And they were like, hey, there's this new opening at Fort Meade, Maryland. You have to get your top secret clearance. Every IT in the Coast Guard has to get their secret clearance. So that was already done before I even went. They're like, you have to get your top secret clearance. So it's a little bit of a process. They're like, but this is what you should sign up for. And I was like, I don't know. There's like Key West on here. There's Alaska. Like, there's a lot of really cool places I could go. And they were like, Brewer, you should sign up for this. For those of you who don't know, that's being called Voluntold. And don't get me wrong, I think if I went for any of it, they probably would have let me have it anyway. But they were like, this is for you. You need to go to this. And so I went there, and only to realize that it's so funny because I didn't do any research on Fort Meade, Maryland. I didn't know what was there. I was like, so like, oh, whatever, man, I'll get to do some cool stuff. That'll be cool. Everybody's just like, hey, you gotta get top secret. It's gonna be cool. No idea that it was the National Security Agency until like much later, which is really kind of dumb on my part. Like, why didn't I wiki it, And as far as like early experiences for what shaped me, I mean, those early experiences that I mentioned, those kind of like, learning how to program at a young age and learning and like just being really into networking. I think that was huge. That was kind of a big part of it. Um,
I like that. I like that. I mean, and it's one of the things I've always liked about you is you're learning from the ground up. Also, the way you learned made you one of the better instructors, I think, because your style of instructing with people is very discussion oriented and approachable. In that, like, no, I'm not kidding. More than once, I know that I've said, well, I can't do that. I don't know how to. And you're like, yeah, just do it. I'd be like, wait, you're right. There's not really much stopping me from figuring it out and trying it. And then you would, I've seen you do it with a lot of people, but you've even done it with me, guide an individual through the process in a very tactical, hands-on way, because that's how you experience it. That's how you learned it in a tactical, hands-on way by building your own Linux kernel. So did you ever do Linux from scratch and end up building like
oh yes.
Dustix or something like that? Really?
No,
Wait. What did you call it? Something special?
No, I just did Linux from scratch, and I'll tell you what, like, if you want to learn Linux, that's the way to do it. It's an amazing program.
Well, that's a way to do it. You will know Linux
Sure.
afterwards. I think the best way is like, you will definitely know it if you finish it.
Yes, you will be more proficient at a lot of things, and you'll be able to troubleshoot a lot more things too, because you'll kind of know how everything works on the back end, and I love that. And like, look, and this is to our viewers who are looking to get into this. This is a big thing for both you and I, where it's like the internet and interconnectivity of devices is so just convoluted, right? But if you break those down into each thing, they are just packets going through a wire, right? So to your point with Wireshark, if you can deconstruct that and you can look at it and understand what's going on, even if start with a small amount, don't go load up, 15 billion packets and expect to know what's going on, because you're going to have a lot of different things going on. Pick like a 10 packet interaction between two devices. Start looking at it and start going through it. And if it's
And there's
really
free
cool
ones
and you like
available
that,